But the last handful of minutes, I would say you folks in Petal probably have the most to worry about within this whole setup right now. There. So this is your warm inflow that's actually coming into the lowering, and there's your lowering right in there. But you folks are probably still dealing with very heavy rain, frequent lightning, very gusty wind out there as well. You may actually see some of these as we head through the rest of this evening, depending on how things shake out before the sun goes down. On the same point, you can look, say, okay, well, do we have any debris at that exact spot? And thankfully at this point, at least in this radar scan, we do not. Some showers and thunderstorms later in the day, and as we head through the overnight hours Saturday and into Sunday, the good news is the overall threat for severe weather continues to diminish. It looks like the worst of the weather is going to be well off to our north. Starting off in the north, where you folks are finally dry. Feels nice, doesn't it? You probably still have a little bit of drizzle out there, but for the most part, you're done with the rain for at least 6 hours. It's not too often that you get this many goose eggs on the rain chance this time of the year. The tough thing is they may not get a game in tomorrow, given the chance for rain. Let's take a look at the forecast over there on Weather 2 for the guys back in the production booth. Look at this forecast for tomorrow. A pretty good shot for some afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Mainly, we're talking about 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. I've actually bumped up the flooding risk. Student night here. They've got the Greek community back in behind me signing up for a contest. The most people that show up from each individual house win something. I'm sure it's good. Rain is the name of the game tonight. As all the storms crash into the Gulf of Mexico, we're just left with this kind of stratiform stuff back in behind it. Sitting at home watching, going, do I really want to go to a game tonight? You do. The weather out here is fantastic. Mississippi Forestry Commission is here. They're giving away all kinds of goodies. And yeah, the baseball on the field's also pretty good, with USM rattling off 9 in a row. Because I think this highlights the chance for rain probably the best. You see this little dip right here. It's a big ridge of high pressure. We always talk about, oh, there's a ridge of high pressure. The reason we say that, literally on the map, it looks like a ridge of higher pressure. But there's a little crinkle in here, right there. There's your little crinkle, which is why tomorrow we've got a 10% chance for rain. On Thursday, you see there's a little crinkle in there too. We'll hold on to about a 20% chance for rain. Out here at Pete Taylor Park for a doubleheader. USM taking on Holy Cross. First game, USM took 4-1. They had all three phases of the game working well.
Promised and guaranteed by our weather guy. We had sunshine
So says
today.
Lilja.
He actually said guaranteed that the other night on the air.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, Thursday, I
Were
think,
you a
was
little
the guarantee.
nervous about saying the word guaranteed?
No, not at all.
No?
Yeah, folks, welcome back. Starting things off with the radar tonight. Southern Pine Electric radar lit up with rain. The only place that's not really raining as much is up in Simpson County, but for everybody, we're all dealing with a fair amount of rain across the area. Everything's moving from west to east across the region. You folks in Prentice and out toward Monticello also starting to kind of dry things out, but there's still a fair amount of light to moderate rain across the entire area. You folks in Columbia still dealing with rain. We can kind of slide this back off to the west, and yeah, maybe in the extreme northwestern sliver of Walthall County, you're starting to dry things out. But rain is the name of the game tonight. As all the storms crash into the Gulf of Mexico, we're just left with this kind of stratiform stuff back in behind it. It should clear out over the next hour or two, but I'm looking down the street at what's coming, and there's more thunderstorms redeveloping back here as well, which is a little disconcerting. I will say this as well, we can drag the map back off to the west, and you can see that we do have a severe thunderstorm watch and severe thunderstorm warnings in effect in Texas. You may say to yourself, well, Nick, that's Texas. You're right, it is, but all of this stuff is moving our direction as we head through the overnight hours and into tomorrow morning, which means the break from the rain may not last too terribly long. We'll also have our own bout with severe weather tomorrow, a marginal risk from the SPC. I tend to think that strong storms are likely. Severe weather is going to be tough to do. However, with it being May, it's not impossible, that's for sure. And we're also watching out for the threat for some flash flooding across the area, marginal risk there. And again, that's tomorrow. As we head through the day on Saturday, another marginal risk for severe weather, only this time we're talking about a marginal to slight risk for flash flooding. And as you'll see here in a second, we're a little concerned about some reasonable flooding as we head through Sunday as well. Futurecast breaks down like this. Here comes the thunderstorms out of Texas as you get out the door tomorrow morning. I think this is actually starting to catch up to where we'll be. Somewhere around 9 o'clock across some of our western counties is when the rain starts to move in. It moves through. We clear things out, or at least dry things out a little bit as we head through midday. Some of the people that are trying to get baseball games in for tomorrow may be able to squeeze in first pitch before the next round of rain rolls through as we head through the afternoon and evening. I think this shows up between about 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock at night. Then that kicks out of here. I think we get into some dryness overnight on Saturday. I think most of the day on Saturday is dry. And then here comes some more showers and thunderstorms developing as we head through the afternoon and evening, only to give way to more rain showing up as we head through the day on Sunday. And that may lead us to a point where, according to that same RPM model that I was just showing, well, my numbers fell off of here, 3 to 6 to maybe 9 inches of rain. We'll go with the other RPM. This is through Saturday afternoon, 3 to 6 inches of rain across the area. And don't take these numbers in any one particular spot as gospel. What I tend to do is look at this and say, let's build ourselves a fence somewhere between 2.5 inches in Bay Springs, 2 inches in Waynesboro, 2 inches to somewhere about 6 inches of rain. Where it'll fall, we still have to figure out as we head through the next 12 to 24 hours. Storms continue, though, for tomorrow. We're drier finally by Monday. So once we get through all this riffraff, we're good on Monday, and then we turn to much warmer as we head toward the end of next week with highs back into the mid to upper 80s. Once we get into late May, we're going to be talking about temperatures back to around 90 degrees. I think we get some rain between 7 and 10 o'clock in the morning. That's why I don't really like using this graphic today. And then more of it as we head through the afternoon and into the evening. This is how it breaks down through the next 7 days, a 60% chance, then 40, then 70 through the next 3 days. Some strong storms likely, the main threats being some very heavy rain and wind, the possibility of flooding as well. The good news is once we get through Sunday, we are looking much drier as we head through next week.